This is the list of concepts that you are going to learn by this project. We are going to make a guess the number game. In this game, the computer will think of a random number from 1 to 20, and ask you to guess the number. You only get 6 guesses, but the computer will tell you if your guess is too high or too low. If you guess the number within 6 tries, you win. I am using the Jupyter notebook for coding the game. You can use any code editor for that purpose, although this is the small project that demand you to have knowledge of Python language. But, still I will provide the sufficient explanation of each code line. So you don't need to worry. I will make sure you understand the concept and code alone without any help. Let me show you first how this game would work. This is a comment. Remember that Python will ignore everything after the hash sign. This just reminds us what this program does. This is an import statement. The import statement is not a function, it does not have parentheses after its name. Like print is the function with parentheses. We can call it directly. But some functions exist in separate programs called modules. Modules are other Python programs that contain other functions that we can use. The import statement will add these modules and their functions to our program and we can use them in our program. Let's look at the syntax. The import statement is made up of the import keyword followed by the module name. This line imports a module named random. The random module has several functions related to random numbers. We'll use one of these functions later to have the computer come up with a random number for us to guess. Let's create a new variable named guessTaken, in which we will store the number of guesses we've made. Since the player hasn't made any guesses so far, we will store the integer 0 here. When I say player, it means user. Now ask the player name and save it in the variable myname. Input is the function that asks the user to type something and then press enter. Otherwise program will not execute further line of code. So whatever the user type will save in the myname variable in the form of string data type. Here I am calling a new function named randint, and then storing the return value in a variable named number. Because randint is one of the functions that the random module provides, I put random dot in front of it to tell our program the function is in the random module. The randint function will return a random integer between and including the two integers I give it. Here, I give it the integers 1 and 20 between the parentheses. Let me open a new file to show you how the random module works. You can see it provide a random number between the range I provided. Let's write the another print statement welcoming the user and introducing the game. You can see that I am using the plus operator inside the print statement. It is the way to concatenate the string. You can combine as many strings as you want by the plus operator. Don't forget that I am using comma, but it is inside the quotes, so will be considered as the part of the string. Only plus operator can stay outside the quotes and variable name having string stored in it. Now I will use the while statement to control the numbers of guesses used by the user. As long as the condition next to the while keyword is true, the code inside the while block will keep executing. We can call it a while block. Statement next to the while keyword is the special kind of the expression that always evaluate to new data type called boolean, either true or false. The operator I am using here is the comparison operator that won't evaluate to an integer and string but new data type called the boolean data type. Let's code the while block, in which I am going to ask the user to take guess, and again I am using the input function for asking and storing the user guess. Since the input function always returns string data type even user enter the number, so we have to typecast it into integer data type. Because we want to integer 6 not string 6. But remember that you can only convert the string number into the integer, not real string into integer. If the player typed in something that was not a number, then the function call would result in an error and the program would crash. I am not handling that error in this game, but in future game I will surely show you how to handle that type of execution error so that your program could not crash. Now we have to increase the number of guesses that the player taking. The first time we enter the while loop block, guesses taken has the value of 0. Python will take this value and add 1 to it. 0 plus 1 is 1. Then Python will store the new value of 1 to guesses taken. Now we will check the user guess. The if statement works almost the same way as a while statement, too. If the condition is true, then execution enters the if block. If the condition is false, then the execution skips past the if block. Unlike the while block, execution does not jump back to the if statement at the end of the if block. It just continues on down to the next line. Here I am providing hint to the user if the guess is not correct. Here is another if statement. This time, we check if the player's guess is larger than the random integer. If so, we will enter the if block that follows it. The print line tells the player that their guess is too big. The last possibility could be in our game is that guess is right. Inside the if block we have the break statement. The break statement tells the program to immediately jump out of the while block. If the player keeps guessing too low or too high, the value of guesses taken will change to 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. If the player guessed the number correctly, the condition in the if statement that guess equal to number would be true, and we would have executed the break statement. Otherwise, we keep looping. But when guesses taken has the number 6 stored, the while statement's condition is false. Because 6 is not less than 6, rather 6 is equal to 6. Because the while statement's condition is false, we will not enter the loop and instead jump to the end of the while block. Since there are two ways to come out of the while block, either by correct guessing or run out of guessing. So we are checking again that how we are coming out of the while loop and if it is due to the correct guessing. We will greet the user and tell the user number of guess the user take to accurately guess the random number. str is same like int. It is used to convert integer to string data type. Now let's consider the other condition of coming out of the loop. Because the player did not guess the random number, we will tell them what it is.